Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm going to jump off now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back in the audience. Hi, everyone.
Hey, look who we have here on stage. Very familiar face. Okay, he's jumped off now. Gisomnia, guys. How are you all doing? Nice to see so many familiar faces. Today is gonna be a really special session where we are gonna play some real games. Our guest should be here joining us in a few minutes. How are your days going so far, guys? Tell me about it. Oh, I see Gisomnia from Kazakhstan. Really nice to have you, Argo. I saw like we have a lot of people from Kazakhstan as well. I think Cortez is from Kazakhstan as well. I didn't know. I thought he was from Russia, but and I saw one of in the Twitter comments that he's from Kazakhstan. Let's see. I think our guest is here. Let us invite him. And say GM Somnia. Yeah, you can just say Gsomnia. No need to GM. Okay, we're already at 70 people. That's really cool. Still 1 minute to go. No GM, guys. It's only Gsomnia. Yeah, Steve's correct. Yep, nice to see all the Gsomnias. Gsomnia, as you, sorry if I mispronounced it, your hoodie looks really epic. And you're watching a boxing match, it seems. Really nice to see. Looks like a lot of people want a lot of merches. This one is really cool from Legend of Z. I think he has one of the coolest name in our community, the Legend of Z. I guess it's one of the most coolest name for sure out there. To participate, you don't need to download the game, but if you want to play, we're gonna give some scopes. Then you can. Oh, our guest is here. Let me invite him. Hello, sir.
Good morning.
GM Gisomnia. It's going really well. How about you?
Pretty good. It's 7 a.m. here, so we're up.
Oh shit! I didn't know about that. You should have told me.
No, it's good. That's actually fine.
It's crazy. Like 7 a.m. I really wake up at 7 a.m. unless it's a work or something super necessary. So again, really appreciate you joining in at 7 a.m. on our community.
No problem. This is all fun.
Hey, really cool to hear that. Okay, like it's fantastic to have you with us, and you're getting a lot of people really early. So I guess we can wait a minute and then proceed to start in a minute if you're okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I just shared the link on our Discord to this channel, so hopefully everyone looking for our event comes over here too.
Awesome. Yeah, hope to see a lot of other folks here as well. So all of the Dark Table fans can collide together and and build like a team of themselves.
Let's see. I'm gonna throw it up on Restream as well. We'll see if it kills my internet, but just so that everybody can follow along.
Yep, sure. I think once we start the playtesting, it's gonna be a really fun one. I exclusively gave some, codes to a few of our really top gamers, and they're really excited to learn more and play. And also on this test, if you agree, then we can give it to a few more super interested people, and they can try all along with us as well.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have time for probably a game, maybe two, because they'll probably be like 30-minute games, But yeah, we'll see. Unless we do some really strong decks and end it quick.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, definitely it will be fun. But yeah, speaking of that, I guess we're good to start. We have almost 100 members, so let's kick it off. So to start, Gamestorm 3.0, like welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're tuning in from. I'm Mush, the community lead at Somnia, and welcome again to Somnia Gamestorm 3.0, exclusively with Dark Table. And today we have a really special guest with us. We have Kyle, who is the founder and CEO at Dark Table. So Kyle, would you please do the honors and introduce yourself a little bit and tell us about your background?
Yeah, so I'm Kyle Klota. I'm founder, CEO of Dunamai, and creator of Dark Table CCG. I've been in game development for I'd say around like 15 years. Also a giant avid card gamer. And so, kind of Dark Table CCG is the culmination of being an avid Magic player for probably 12 years, specifically playing Magic Commander, which was a multiplayer version of Magic where you're playing with more than 2 players. And so basically, I loved that social setting and having more people playing a card game. And that was severely lacking in the digital world. And so we kind of decided to fill that gap and bring a much more social and fun card game to the digital world.
Okay, that's a really pretty interesting thing because the market of card games, I think, is super big. And there are a huge fan base of card games as well, and especially in the space, I think such games are missing. So really cool to hear about that. As you were speaking about card games, can you tell us like a bit more about the game itself, like how the idea came along, and also some of the key ideas and features that you put in to make it a little bit different?
Sure. Yeah, here, let me let's see what the best way to do this is. So I might be able to share my screen here a little bit too so we can
Yeah, feel free to go ahead.
Let's do that so everyone can see what we're talking about. Okay, so the question is what we're doing different to try to separate ourselves from other card games, right? And so
Yeah.
this is we're trying to make the world's first cross-collectible card game. And so we already talked about we want more players, so we're free to play 4-player. but we also want to have easier deck building and way more customization than the other card games out there. And with that, we'd like to have a full hybrid Web 2, Web 3 economy with thousands of items. So we're trying to listen to what card gamers desperately want that doesn't exist in the market right now, and then build that experience. And so how we do that is we hit with the social side, more table politics, more players at the table. But then on the content side, on the deck building side, instead of having paywalls, you'll see a lot of these other card games have paywalls where it's you got to buy expansions or DLCs or something to get the cards in the game. We try to have it so it's completely open. You have the card from, and then you basically just buy what you don't own. And so this makes it a lot faster to create decks. It makes it so that you can always kind of theory craft new ideas, as fast as you want to, instead of being locked behind some sort of paywall that you'll see on a lot of other card games. We also try to hit you with way more customizations. Come from a physical card game like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that. Physical card gamers are used to having a lot of customization, even though you wouldn't think so. So they usually customize their board by having a play mat, which is just a rubber mat that they roll out, and it protects your cards from the table if you're playing at at a restaurant or whatever. There could be grease. It's funny, but it's like, well, people end up customizing that by getting really neat play mats with artwork that they like. And so we said, well, why not bring that into the game and be able to customize your play mats? And so the 3D terrain is customizable. The card backs in real life, physical card games, they put sleeves on their cards to protect the cards. And then the same thing, they collect artwork for those different sleeves. And so we're bringing that same idea, collect your card backs and have a wide variety of those to use. But then coming from roots of like World of Warcraft, some more MMO side, we also think that titles and profile pics, avatars, that play a big part into your personal identity in the game as well. And so our nameplates, have profile pics and titles attached to them that you can also collect and customize. And so that'll come into play, a lot later on when we do, ranked systems, when we do tournaments. We have animations for when you take out another player in the game. It'll show your nameplate and all that stuff, so you can kind of show off the profile pic and titles that you've collected as well. And so it's all just try to build you a player identity and have a lot of options for you to swap out, almost similar to like a Call of Duty style loadout. And then on the economy side, if we talk, difference between Web 2 and Web 3 card games, all Web 2 card games, almost all of them are just a 1v1 experience. But then they also don't allow trading. It's collectible card games. These are supposed to be either collectible or trading card games, and all of the Web 2 ones.
That's the most important thing, right? You need to trade with each other.
And all the Web 2 games don't allow trading or sale of the cards. You just buy it from loot boxes, and then that's it. You never can do anything with it. So it's like, how is that a collectible game? Because you can't actually do anything with the things you collect. So
just as playing versus, a bot or something. It feels super boring.
Exactly. And so why does that collectible have value at all if I can't do anything with it? So that's where, we're trying to build a giant economy in the game and kind of bridge the gap between traditional players and Web3 players as well by having an in-game market where everybody can participate in the same in-game market. And so behind the scenes, these are all Somnia assets, but to the players, they don't need to care about that necessarily. They just want to buy, sell, trade items on our in-game market. And so we have around almost 1,000 unique items. And then once we get into our one-of-one collections that are coming, that'll also just add thousands of items to that pool as well that could be available on our in-game market. So trying to hit a lot of different avenues on how do we look at the best things in card games, but then improve on the parts that are lacking. And on the social side, it's more than just 4 players is just more fun. From a content creator side, if we're talking about ability, content creation, making engaging videos to watch, the 1v1s are just boring. It's really hard to get somebody amped up about a 1v1 because you end up talking to yourself. So you'll talk to different pro players and streamers, and they'll say it's really hard to get enthusiastic on a stream where you're just talking to yourself and you have a chat listening to you. And so you gotta fake it. You gotta fake all this emotion.
Aren't supposed to be 1v1, right? It's not chess, right? That's beautiful 1v1.
I mean, it's just like it's just boring to watch, and it's card games are already very flat, static gameplay for the most part. Some games try to add a little bit more action. I think Runeterra was probably the best example of trying to add a lot more action to the screen. But for the most part, a lot of these card games are very flat and boring, and so you got to do something to add some flair. And so it's like, well, the 4-player dynamic of Darktable makes it a lot easier to make content because you can invite 3 other friends. You can have a conversation while you're playing, just talk about whatever, try to screw each other over by making temporary alliances to fight somebody else. It's like all these different layers that are funny for people to listen to, even if they're not watching the game. And so this is, sort of stuff that we see from Call of Duty or Fortnite, where you're watching somebody stream and they have a squad and they are, it's funnier to watch them talk with their squad than it is to actually watch the gameplay. And so you're naturally engaged at that point. And so we're trying to bring a similar experience there.
Yep, 100% agree with you. And to a last point, I think that's why competitive esports became so famous, because you could play it with your squad and you could compete squad versus squad. That's the most important part of it. And I fully agree with the other points as well. The first thing I look at a game when I want to play it is, can I play it with my friends or not? If it's something that I need to play with the bot, or it's like PvE, I can play it for a day or two, then I get bored, and then I'll just look for something else. And secondly, the game has to be appealing. Most of the card games are super straightforward. It's just classic looking, no more intense designs, which a lot of people do want, especially gamers. So I think those two things are all there inside Darktable, and I think that would appeal a huge chunk of players for sure.
Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, we're almost going on the HD approach, where it's compared to the other card games, we're almost like an HD card game because we're trying to just make it look
to add full HD,
Yeah, full HD. We're trying to just be way more visually appealing with the the 3D board. Everything's in 3D. We're gonna have a lot more cutscenes and animations going on here soon. So just like you're saying, I mean, we got to add some different flair to it to kind of stand out.
Yeah, 100%. And I think from what the sneak peeks we have seen, I think it's incredibly way better. That's why I added full HD, because it's just way better than other card games that are out there. So yeah, super excited to learn more about the gameplay and stuff. And to the audience, it's a lot of stuff to digest at one place, but don't worry, Kyle himself is gonna assist us with the game. So that part is there. So you'll know how it goes, all right? So don't be confused. Moving forward to our next question, right? I think you've covered kind of a lot of part of it, but I still want to ask that you said that you built a lot of things and you put a lot of things into the game as well. So would you give some insights maybe that how you were able to improve the game over the past few months specifically?
Yeah, so I mean, Dream Catalyst accelerator, with Somnia and Uprising has been huge. I mean, we have made, I don't even know, I mean, just game-changing improvements visually, and even in work right now is dedicated server work, which will improve latency and connections and all that stuff. So it's hard to explain. I mean, it's like going from an alpha to almost a full release build, where you're having this giant step of polish, getting closer to a AAA level of polish on the game. So it's been massive. I mean, so just for examples here, we can look at some examples here. it's funny. So here's like the old example of the main menu screen. You would not expect lighting to make such a big difference, but just changing the lighting on this scene. Look at the difference.
Oh,
It's like
480 to Full HD. That's the thing, you know.
it's like it's so like it's just lacks depth in the old one, and just looks washed out or something. And then now looks a lot more real. It's just on lighting. And then if we look at user interface, so the old user interface here was kind of bare bones and a little rough, and then the new one is a lot more AAA level user interface going forward. We could talk about art upgrades. So we had a lot of like either speed painted or placeholder art in the alpha, and then now we're getting gigantic upgrades on all of the card art for everything as well. So I mean, just visually huge changes to make everything look better. And then on the server side, like currently when we play here, it'll be peer-to-peer still, which means if the host leaves, the game falls apart. But all of that is going away once we swap to dedicated servers, and so that whole effort's underway to do dedicated servers. That'll improve latency. That'll improve stability for the games. It should reduce lagging on just because your hardware is not trying to send connections to everyone's computers. So it should be a gigantic upgrade there as well. So I mean, it's literally changing the entire game.
Yeah, I guess the TLDR is the Darktable team has been cooking for the past few months. I guess that's the summary of it. And you just saw some, I would say, live demo of what's been changed. And I'm kind of like getting a God of War type of vibes inside the card game, which is like super crazy. And yeah, like I cannot wait to see and share with the community all these things, quite a lot of these things in the game itself. Yeah, I'll go forward to the next one. Sorry, I'm being a little bit quick because I want to save a lot of time for the community and for the game.
Yeah, no problem.
Right? I'm sure I'll have a lot of questions there as well. Like already we have a pile of questions from the people who have already played the game, so I'm sure we'll get a lot more. So the next one would be like generally a question I have gotten from a lot of the community members, and you can add myself to that list as well. That card games often can be quite complicated. So could you share a few things about the difficulty of the game and also the learning curve?
Yeah, so this is actually a great question. We get that question quite a bit, and I'll say, how do I say this? I enjoy being a big brain player. I'm not the card gamer that is going to try to completely outsmart everybody and memorize every single card combination and what beats what, and try to craft the perfect deck that I have to draw the cards in the perfect order to win and all this stuff. I'm not that player. And so I tried to make this as simple as possible so that the max amount of people can enjoy this game. And so you do that with user experience. You try to improve your user experience so that everything is very simple to do and easy to get into. But then you want to have a depth of game mechanics that could take a long time to master. So it's like get in easy and I can play, but then long time to master so that there's like always something I can learn and do better. And so I think we've achieved that here because we've gone to different conventions and demoed in various places. And the feedback that we get is we get a wide variety of people to sit down and play the game, and they all enjoy it. We've had card gamers, pro card gamers from Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh play it, and they enjoy it. We've had people who have never even played a digital game before, sit down and play it, and they enjoy it. We've had kids get in there and have fun. So like just a wide variety of people can enjoy it because it's so simple to kind of get into and experiment with and play. And then there's just a great strategy to it if you want to be that that more skilled player later on. But that was a focus of the whole game, was to make it simple to get into, because I've played a lot of these physical card games, and some of them are wildly complex, and it's almost, it is tiring to try to even
It's monthly, basically.
right. It's so hard to learn that you're just physically tired trying to keep track of all the rules of all the cards and the turn orders and all this stuff, and it's like, dude, we got to make this simpler or else no one's going to play this game. So that was a focus for sure.
Super cool to hear that, right? Because it's good that it's you is a really fantastic background at playing a lot of card games for years. I think you hit the nail on the coffin because it's the onboarding arc that needs to be highly prioritized, especially for the card games, because I think day by day people's attention span is getting lowered and lowered, and that's why we are seeing a lot of like degen sort of game, and the games that takes a lot less time to be familiarized and also to start playing, getting a lot more popular. So I think this is the 100% right move. Yeah, go ahead.
And to that note, I mean, like, this is one of the things we're trying to fix. I mean, who knows, fix this, but I don't like that direction that everything is going, where it's like more anonymous gameplay, very fast gameplay, no social interaction or connections anymore. And I'm trying to, break that a little bit with Dark Table, where I want you to come in and bring 3 friends. I want you guys to potentially play regularly together, and we'll still reward you for doing that, because I want there to be more social interaction again, and kind of have fun with other people like we used to in the early internet. So we've kind of lost something that we need to get back, and we'll try to get our games still pretty short for the attention spans you're talking about, but part of the social, side of this is I don't have to be the smartest player at the table as long as I can go talk to people and convince them to not fight me. And so that's part of it.
Yeah, I think that is the fun part, I would say, right? Because this sort of things make it more interesting and like people wanting to come back to the game. So this little thing matters a lot, especially if you compare the gamer's perspective. Like that's 100%, right?
Right.
Moving forward to our next one, right? I like you mentioned like a few moments back about streamers, right? So I just want to bring that topic again. That do you think that this game will be popular among streamers? Because coming from the fact that most of the card games, there's obviously quite boring, are not super, often like popular among streamers. So what do you think in this case?
Yeah, I think we have a very unique position here where we could actually dominate the market if we do this right, because of content creation. So the 1v1s are so boring to watch that we have an edge where if we can bring a 4-player experience that's a lot more fun to watch, especially if the streamers all know each other or don't like each other, or anything that makes that commentary funny, it just adds a whole nother level to this. And so we brought in a bunch of pro players to try the game. And this was the whole purpose, was do pro players and content creators enjoy playing the game? And when they play it, do you get the social interaction that you expect to see for Dark Table? And I mean, the answer is yes. So we had pro players come in from, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Marvel Snap, Parallel TCG, Hearthstone. They're all either grandmasters or, world champions in those games. And they came in and played together, and it was hilarious. I mean, they knew each other. They were all trying to make temporary alliances. There was a ton of deceit in the game. Those are all up on our YouTube at Dunamai, by the way, and you can watch these pro players play Dark Table, and it's just funny. It's way more fun to watch than the game itself. Even is just them talking to each other and what happens. And so I think what we'll end up seeing is, as the game progresses and takes off, we're going to create content being created where, like we did in this video, we put 4 webcams on the same screen on the table so that you could see everybody's emotions as they're playing. And so it's like that you want to see facial expressions when somebody screws you over on the table, and that's that's the best part. And so, I think we're going to see a lot more people using like OBS Ninja or something where you can, throw everybody's webcams onto one screen and stream live doing that. And I know Tilt plans on doing something like that to do live streams that way as well. And I think that's going to be super engaging to watch. Whereas, you just don't get that experience in any other card game.
Yeah, like I couldn't agree more. The point you just made that all the emotions of the players, I'm sure that all the gamers that are present today gets it. Like this is what made, like competitions of CSGO or Valorant super popular. Most of the cameras were not only on the screen but also on the top players, how they react after each kill and etc.
Yeah. Here, I'll even show. I'll just show like an example. So.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's crazy, man.
So I mean, if you could see the.
You got the hang of it. Okay. Keep me up.
This is basically what we do: is we'll throw our 4-player.
You're good.
We'll throw each person's webcam on the table so you can see which spot they're in, and then they're just playing and talking with each other, and it's really funny to watch.
Okay.
No, you did.
That's where the social part comes in, and you want to play game after game, right? That's the most crucial part of the game as well. It makes it boring at all.
100%. And we did some 4-player play testing the other night in our Discord, and it was just hilarious. Everybody in the chat was having a good time listening to us fight over everything. It was fun.
Nice. It's really cool to know as well. I think we'll be sharing this a lot of the clips to the community as well, because I think the gameplay is super important. The tutorials are more important, but especially these fun clips when people see other people enjoying something with their friends, there's a good chance they would want to give it at least a try and try to enjoy it with their friends as well. So
definitely.
I'll surely save this one to share with our community. Right. So let's go to the next one. Is like you have mentioned a few elements of development of Web3 as we want. So would you share something regarding that? How did you come to the realization that Web3 elements would be a good fit for Darktable?
Sure. I mean, I think it's the natural progression for all collectible things, like digital. Like if you're going to collect anything digitally, I think NFTs and Web3 is the natural progression. And
it's one of the best one-liners I have heard in Web3 gaming, right?
It's like you got to have true digital ownership of things that you're buying if you want it to be a collectible, and it needs to be a unique identifier for it so that you can buy, sell, trade that thing and it have value. So it's one of those things where it just makes sense. The fact that so many card games were not doing it earlier is just weird. I don't know. I mean, we have more games. We got Parallel TCG now. That's Web3. We have Gods Unchained, stuff like that. And it's like those are good, but they're not going to probably onboard the Web2 masses like we can because of how we've set up our onboarding through the game. So we have Steam and Epic logins. So you just play the game on Steam or Epic, and we automatically create accounts and back-end wallets for you and all this stuff so that you don't have to set anything up and there's no additional logins. And then all of our buy, sell, trading is going to be inside the game, or like we'll have an option for that marketplace inside the game so that you can do all of it inside without ever leaving, which the other games don't have typically. None of them, no buy, sell, trade. Web3, very few, if any, have an in-game marketplace where you can do the buy, sell, trade. They all require you to just go to an NFT marketplace. And so we'll give you that option as well if you want to go, offload or export assets and go sell them outside the game. That's fine. But we want to have an option for people to be able to do that in a streamlined manner inside the game, make it simpler and easier to use for everybody so you can, have a lot more fun collecting and trading. And so it just Web3 is just the natural progression of doing that in the simplest and most effective way.
100% agree with you. And being like the Web3 maxi, for the past 2-3 years, I totally agree and really wanted to hear your take on that. And I think you just nailed it with your super one-liner, right? I think it's a time where if current Web3 games like a success, I think all the Web2 games at one point they realized that Web3 can enable a lot of new things in their game, which the end user won't necessarily feel a thing. But from their perspective, it could change the meta like big time, right? And especially as you said, like LLT and a few other card games that are coming in, like Gods Unchained, etc. I think not every team has such a great background in Web 2 and has this really cool onboarding arc for the Web 2 people, because I see a lot of people build completely for the Web 3 audience, but there's not enough, players in the Web 3 space for this sort of games, right?
So we could talk about that for a quick second. So you're totally right. So your Web 2 player base is minimum 10 times bigger than your Web 3 player base. Right? So how are you onboarding those players, and how are they even playing in the same system as the Web 3 players? And so that's where our cross collectible concept comes in. So when we say cross collectible, we mean whatever platform you're on, whatever I guess platform or economy style you're coming from, it doesn't matter. You can all play on the same in-game marketplace, and you can all play in the same matchmaking. And so, big players, eventually mobile and console players, can all play in the same game and buy, sell, trade in the same marketplace. And they don't necessarily have to know or care what assets those are behind the scenes. And so, traditionally...
Oh, really? I was completely unaware of that you can play cross-console. I think that is a super big deal, because especially gamers know that it's a super big deal. Normally, I cannot play with my friends who uses Xbox or PS2. I think a lot of games has this insane issue going for years.
Yeah. So, I mean, because we use Epic, everything is cross-play. So you can definitely, cross-play between all of those platforms. But typically, Steam doesn't like Web3. They're tried to ban it all over the place, and some other consoles
have this history.
And some consoles have done the same thing. But we have tried to abstract out our layer, so far back to our back end that there should not be a problem to a Steam player or traditional Web 2 player. They should not know the difference. It should feel just like a Web 2 game, and they don't ever need to know that way behind the scenes on our servers, like those are NFTs. But to them, it's just they're buying in-game items like they always have been, but now they have the ability to buy, sell, trade them. If you are a Web3 player and want to maximize that, then there's an in-game market that you can play to try to maximize that. You can also export your assets out of the game to sell, those on an outside marketplace as well. And so we kind of give you a few options to try to play the in-game economy if you want to. But I think the way that we're onboarding, where it's like invisible onboarding using Steam and Epic logins and an in-game marketplace that allows all this buy, sell, trade, that I think allows us to now onboard a ton more players from the Web 2 side. That only, it creates more games, like game matches, because we have a bigger player base. It also totally, emboldens the economy inside the game by just creating a lot more buyers potentially for that in-game marketplace that would not exist if this was only a Web3 game.
It's really fantastic to hear that, right? Because I think that's the bigger picture that's thinking about the whole player base. Because what I have seen, a lot of the good games has done that because they had a good game, but they never plan how they are onboarding the people and the gamers itself, right? And they just built it for the native Web3 audience.
Yeah.
And at the end, there just wasn't the players, which is the hard truth. Like I'll have to accept it. So I think, like I tried the game. I saw that we can log in with whatever we want. And I think that's exactly the point. Like I don't necessarily need to know it's a Web3 game, Web2 game, or whatnot. I just want to play a game and enjoy it, and all the aspects are there, and I can enjoy whatever I want. I think that's the ideal scenario, and it's
100%.
Really
and you'll see, soon, very soon, once we get to our collections that we're going to drop. The bigger picture here too is that these Web2 players have never been able to participate in a mint either, right? And you're never going to convince them to connect their bank accounts or anything, to create a wallet, all these things. You'll never get them to do it. But what we're trying to do is we have all of that run through the game once we're released in open beta and full release. So when we mint something, we're just going to mint it through the game. And so all Web2 players can also buy those during those mints. And then same thing for our one-of-one collections. That's all going to go through the game as well. So Web2 players could potentially be buying a one-of-one item and not know what it is, but it ends up having a lot more possible buyers for those mints as well.
That's really cool to hear, and this is alpha, guys. Even I didn't know that the mint would be this for Web2 players or people who doesn't necessarily want to go through all the trouble of creating wallets, buying Ethereum, swapping, etc., etc. This is a really big move, and to the last point as well, that's really awesome as well, right? I saw most of the games. People just buy the NFTs, fun, and they never use it in game. They just buy it and they just keep it and maybe flip it for profit. So there's a big barrier between people that are holding the assets. Are they the real gamers who would love to play the game, or are they just collecting them for investment purpose? Of course, investment purpose is there, but I think it's way more important to reach those assets into the hands of the people who would necessarily play the games for months and years to come, right? So, really cool to hear that, and I didn't know about those stuff, so really, really bullish after hearing all those alphas. And as you were speaking about the mints, I think this is the right time to ask this, right? Can you share a little bit more, Alpha, about the game deployment or the NFT mints, and also maybe when more codes will be available for people? I know you shared a lot of alphas, but if you could please share a little bit on this as well.
Yeah, so I think the first collection that we've been obviously giving out whitelist for is the Under the Table Pass, and that's basically our closed beta access. But it's also a whitelist for our future collections. So the Under the Table Pass gets you whitelisted for our Origin Key collection that's next, as well as give you beta access, and it acts as a dual-purpose season pass so that you can earn our world chests in the closed and open beta, and then those will be once Somnia mainnet comes out, you'll be able to open those world chests and collect all of your in-game items that way. And it'll also give you some exclusive airdrops for Under the Table Pass holders. We'll be dropping alpha items in there as well. And so those will be exclusive to people holding the Under the Table Pass. So it'll be a good, first collection, 1,007 of these passes. And then that will just drive you right into the following collection, which is a major one, the Origin Key collection. And so we are building this right now as well. This is a one-of-one PFP collection, but it has immense utility inside the game. And so what we're trying to do is, you are used to seeing these one-of-one collections, right, all over the place, and everyone wants to buy them because they look cool and I got the coolest traits or the rarest one, whatever. But you almost it's very rare that they have any like utility. And so what we want is if we're going to make a one-of-one collection, it's going to have utility in the game tied to the one-of-one that you have. And all the traits that are on it are going to be tied to features inside the game. And so every element that makes up our one-of-ones will break apart and give you something in the game. So the rarity gem that's on it is going to give you like a rarity boost on your item drops from World Chess. The handle of the key, the style of the handle might give you a title in the game. The background might give you a playmat that is styled with that black background. If it has visual effects on it, like rain or fire, that might give you visual effects that are animated, that happen on the board that you have. The amount of teeth on the key, the number of prongs on the key, is going to relate to how many cards you get of all the cards. So if it's a void key, you could get 12 every void card if you have 3 prongs on it. If you have 1 prong, you'd get 4 of every void card. And then same thing for land keys and water keys. You could get 4 to 12x of all the cards depending on the number of teeth it has. And so now your one-of-one means a lot more because you can visually see it and instantly know all of the in-game perks you get for owning that one-of-one. And so it brings it to a whole different level.
I can look at this thing and immediately guess that it has massive utility without an explanation.
Right. And so that, I think, is going to make it, really desirable to collect. But it also acts as your profile pick in the game if you want to as well. So end up, being your avatar on your nameplate, so everyone knows which origin key you have. It'll also give you a 3D model of the origin key in the game. So when you spawn new cards during your cutscene animations and stuff, you're going to see the origin key that you own, the one-of-one. So it'll be a really unique experience, and this is kind of our first step into building your one-of-one player identity. We already give you loadouts where you can, customize everything on your board, but then we're going to introduce more of these one-of-one collections that, further diversify your identity and, really kind of build something unique.
Awesome. That's like a way loads of more alpha, like a lot more than I expected. I'll definitely take it. And it's really cool that you shared about the origin key as well, because I was aware about the under the table pass, but not this one. So I'm sure there will now be a massive demand of that one because you just spilled all the tea, and now people knows that you need to get that one to get the future ones. So I'm expecting a lot of chaos. Get hands on that one for sure.
Yeah, the under the table pass is going to be your ticket to getting the first origin keys. So it's definitely an important one.
Yeah, that's for sure. After what you shared, right? So, and yeah, just a quick one is a lot of people were asking if they could get a code and how they could potentially get a code. Would you like to share anything on that?
Yes, you're saying codes to get in the closed beta. So it's under the table pass holders will get into the closed beta, and so as soon as we mint the under the table pass, which I think is probably in the next couple weeks, we'll have an announcement for that. Once that gets minted, we're going to airdrop you your closed beta access NFTs, and then you will just enter those into the game. You'll send it to your in-game wallet, and then that'll give you access to the game. And so that'll be a closed beta, and then also we give out different codes as well, just beta access code, not full under the table passes. We give out other access codes to different collabs and different communities so that they can disperse those amongst their following as well to get people into play. So it's very limited for the closed beta. We're not letting in everybody. It's under the table pass holders and some collabs, and then the rest will have to wait for open beta, which will be, it'll be quick. We're not on a 6-month time frame here. We are way less than that. So closed beta is probably going to be, a month or two, and then we'll be in open beta. So we're moving pretty quick.
So Kyle just spilled the tea, and now it's up to you guys to do what to do with it, right? So it's up to you to understand and assume what you want to do with it. But it's not 6 months. Maybe it's not half of that as well. So now it's up to you guys. But yeah, I'm sure there will be a lot of chaos and demand to get access to the game and the NFTs as well, right? Of that I'm 100% sure, right? And
Yeah, I mean,
I guess,
there's.
yeah.
I would say there's a different level as well that'll have a big, I think, even bigger drive for NFTs. So the other thing we didn't talk about is gold and holographic cards. And so those world chests I was talking about, if you own a season pass, you're earning world chests every game that you play. And those world chests, once you open them up when mainnet is live, will give you these gold and holographic cards. The gold and holographic cards, you want to create a full deck of either gold or holographic cards to be entered into weekly tournaments. And so we're going to do, weekly cash prize tournaments. And the only way to do the tournaments is to have a full gold or a full holographic deck, and then you can automatically play for free. And so this is where these items are going to be bought, sold, traded to everybody because you'll want to collect and build the best possible deck with those holographic or gold cards to be able to try to win at tournaments.
Okay, that's really interesting. So it looks like all the roadmap stuff have been planned already, right? Like I think a lot of people were here just to understand what's on the board and what's the future steps. But it looks like everything is already set in motion. Once the game is deployed, there's a lot of room to grow, a lot of stuff for regular players to, I guess, what should I say, rise into the game, right? Because as you said about the season pass, I think that would be a really big thing to include, especially for new players, right? Because normally the early players want a lot of perks for being early, especially in Web3. So I think that part is certainly covered here.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I guess we have asked a lot of questions and it took a lot of time, but I really appreciate the alpha. So I guess now we can conclude segment 1 and move to segment 2, where we kick off a game in real time and start playing to showcase what we've been speaking about all along. So are you ready? I'm ready when you are to kick off it with our community.
Let me see if I can swap this over real quick. Oh, geez. Oh, no, Windows 11, don't do this to me.
That's a fear we live in.
No update right now. Stop. All right, I'm going to have to turn down my volume once I get in here. All right, so let's go to game scene. Okay, so here's a look at the new main menu. Definitely got a dark, creepy look to it for sure. Real quick, how everything works in the game. You sit here at the main menu at the table. If you want to customize your bird, you go to loadout. And here's where you can select the deck that you want to play with if you've created any, or you can choose from the 3 starter decks that come with the game. But pick your decks. That changes, which cards are selected here. It's a 41 card deck. And then once you pick that, you can change your card backs if you want to see what different style card backs there are in the game. And a lot of these are being updated right now. There's going to be some visual upgrades on most of the card backs. The 2 that are upgraded right now are that one and this Prophecy one that was for alpha holders. So this is going to be one of the airdrops that comes from being a whitelist under the table pass holder. Is you'll get airdropped a Prophecy card back as well. Playmats is the full board that you're choosing here, so you can customize those, swap them out to different styles. There's land, water, and void themed playmats there, and some have visual effects like this. You can change your avatars that show up on your nameplate. So basically your profile pic. And then you can change your titles. Oh, what's this one? Dark Somniac. That one seems cool. I'll do that one.
That one indeed seems cool.
And then for the loot tab, season pass is obviously a big one. There's 50 levels of the season pass, tons of different things to unlock game. You get a lot of gold, which is our free in-game currency, and then gems is our paid in-game currency. And so you can collect a lot and buy a few decks worth of cards with just the gold even that's in here. But then later on in the pass, we have more rare items like this volcano playmat and the volcano set. And so, as we progress and go into new seasons, these old items won't be available anymore to get in a season pass. So they'll become more desirable, and these will be. We're going to upgrade these kind of end of season pass items to be more interactive potentially. So the playmats, volcano playmat might like shoot meteors at other players when you take out another player or something, just to have a visual element to it and make it more fun to collect that item. And then world chests, this is where every game you play, you'll be earning these different world chests. And so we're going to allow you to, even during closed and open beta, you'll be able to collect all of these and have just a stockpile world chests. And then as soon as mainnet goes live and we're ready with that patch, then you'll be able to just bulk, open all of your world chests and collect all those rare items there. And so then once you collect them all, there'll be a collection page where you'll be able to see all of the assets that you own in the game. And so including all of your gold and holographic cards, that you've collected and what their rarity is and drop rates and all that stuff. So you know how important those cards are. And then same thing, like we'll have golden holographic avatars, profile pics and all that stuff to make it interesting. We'll have different XP boosts you can use for the season pass that you pick up in those world chests. And then you'll be able to eventually, I think we're going to have you be able to buy, sell, trade those world chests if you want to, offload those as well. So a lot there. And then on the deck side, our full deck builder, super easy to use. We've gotten some comments that it's a little overwhelming because there's so much you can do. Right, so we're probably going to add in a few.
I've received it a few times too.
We might add in some beginner templates where you can just kind of pick a style of gameplay that you want to do. Like, do I want to be a combo player? Do I want to just do damage to people's faces? Or do I want to just mess with people and don't care about winning? And then we'll probably let you use a template that'll just kind of guide you into creating that deck. So that's what we're working on. But for the most part, you make a new deck, you decide to choose which leader you want to build your deck around, and that is like your character in the game. Like it's the health for your character and your ultimate abilities that will basically end a game once you get there. And so you pick your leader, and then you get access to all the cards in the game to build from. Tons of different filters, like if you only want to do land or water or void cards. If you only want to, or you want to find a bunch of traps or spells or walls or just the creature cards, so you can, filter by all that.
These look super cool. Instantly, I feel having them. It's really cool.
Oh, I mean, and once you learn the cards too, then they get even more valuable. It's just like I need those, and then you can search by traits, which are all the different little skills on the cards. And you can also search by text. So if you want to find like just something that does damage, you can find all the cards that damage. If I want to search by, I want cards that heal, then I can find all the cards that heal as well. So there's different options there in the deck builder. Just make it super simple to find what you're looking for when you're just, theorizing a deck. So it's like, it might sound, overwhelming by how much stuff is there. But the whole idea is, just have an idea. Just go, pick a leader card and say, okay, this guy, I need to gain a bunch of knowledge and then do some sort of ultimate ability that destroys everything. What can I do to gain more knowledge? I guess I can play scholars that help me gain knowledge, and then I'll just go pick a bunch of scholars. Or what plays well with that leader? Just create some idea you have, and then build a deck around it and try it, see if it works. But the way that this deck builder works, we tried to make it super simple. All the cards you own show up underneath a card. It tells you how many are available and how many you own. So if they're not available, they're tied up in other decks. So in this case, I own 12 cards, but I can only use 10 because I have 2 of these in another deck somewhere. And so what happens is, as you add cards to the deck, you'll see how many available is dropping. You can only have 2 cards.
So do I just remove them from the other decks if I want them in my current deck?
Yes. If you want to reuse them, you just remove them from another deck, or you just build this deck, and whatever you don't own, it'll give you a cost for. So this one had 1 left there. Let's go down to the bottom. I think I have some examples here. I do this. I should be able to do some of these real quick. This is going to be a terrible deck, but it'll prove a point in a second. So if I build this deck, then it'll show me.
Don't teach people to make a terrible deck. They'll come for you. This is what Kyle taught us. Come on.
So some of the cards I clicked in there, I did not own. And so what it did was it told me how many cards. 2 cards I did not own. This is how much gold I would have to pay for free in-game currency to buy them. This is the gems. Or I can get duplicates of every card in that deck for 1 deck token, which is around $20. And so I can pick how do I want to buy this deck. And so if it's cheap, I'm just going to use possibly in-game free currency to pay the difference, and I'm only buying the 2 cards that I don't own down here. And so we tried to make it like super simple, where it's like I don't have to go look for only cards I own. You build with everything in existence and then buy what you don't own. So you're not limited by your theory crafting is not limited by what you own. You're just building, with everything out there and buying what you don't own. So we got a question: why limit the card when it's put into another deck, since we can only play 1 deck at one go anyway? So that's a good question. This is part of you got to pick how you're going to monetize the game, but also what those cards mean as far as like collections, and is it an actual digital ownership item or not? Because if you come from 2 card games like Hearthstone, whatever, you get that 1 card and then you can use it infinitely on all the different decks, right? Well, then how do I buy, sell, and trade that card? Because I sell 1, I own infinite copies because I can throw it in every deck. So if I sell that 1 infinite card, then I don't have it anymore. Like, how can you buy, sell, and trade those items when they're infinite, right? And that's probably why they don't allow you to. And so what they do is they give you these crazy loot boxes that take forever to get the cards that you want, because they have to make all of their or gambling enough that you get a bunch of junk cards that you then destroy to build the cards that you want in those games. And so you still spend way more money in Hearthstone or Hearthstone, Magic, Runeterra, whatever. You will spend way more money than Dark Table on those games to get the same deck that you want. You just don't realize it. Even though they're giving you infinite of every card, you still spend way more. And so what we're trying to do is go the opposite way. No, you tie every card to a deck like you do in the physical world, because we're talking what is Web3 and true digital ownership supposed to be? It's supposed to be a representation of true assets, in real life. It's got a 1 of 1 of that asset that I've collected.
Yeah,
so,
not infinite cards.
Right.
Just throwing it away.
And so it's tied to the deck that you build like it would be in a physical card game. But because of that, I can now buy, sell, and trade those individual cards because I own multiple copies of them. So I can keep 2 for my deck and sell for it if I have extras. and I can I can trade those no problem. And just like in real life, I can still decks with those cards if I break apart the first deck, like you would in Magic. you build that deck, and it's like, well, I want a second deck with those cards. Well, too bad. You can buy them again, or you can break apart that deck. And so if you're lazy, you're going to buy them again. If you're a budget player, you're going to break apart the other deck to use them again. And we give you enough, in-game frequency from playing the game that you should get all the cards, very easily. We're not trying to make it expensive for you to get cards. It's very cheap with in-game currency to buy all the cards. And the max price of any deck is always a deck token, which is $20. And it'll give you copies of all the cards. Whereas in, Hearthstone or Magic, competitive players that are, every season, the rotation of the cards you can play with changes. And there's a new meta of the best cards every season. That means that you have to buy the best cards every season to be competitive. And those players can spend anywhere from like $300 to $600 a season just to be competitive with the current meta of those card games. And so what I'm saying, if there was a meta, instead of $300 to $600, you can always spend $20 for a deck token, and you have the best deck no matter what, because that's the ceiling cost of anything. But then, really, because of our 4-player game mechanics, it's almost impossible to have a meta deck, because what ends up happening is whoever looks like the strongest at the table gets killed first by everybody else. So it's like auto balance mechanic.
Forever prophecy.
Yeah. So long story short is, there's a reason why we put limits on the cards, and it's to make it super cheap to get, single cards that you play with, and also have this, true digital ownership and buy, sell, and trade of quantities of cards. And then, I think that's just a good way to do it, to keep it, cheap and fun, and take the weight off of collecting the cards. We want it to be so easy and cheap for you to get cards. We think that the, items that'll be more valuable are going to be our one-of-one collection items and our gold and holographic versions of the cards, because they get you into tournaments and, cash prize pools, or change your, cutscenes in the game to show off the stuff that you own in very special ways, which makes even content creation and streaming more engaging, because of the one-of-one that you have does some cool animation during a cutscene.
Okay, that's
Yes.
I think he got the full context and the scenario.
Sorry, it was a good question. We had to go on it a little bit. Sorry.
No, that's actually fine, because I'm sure other players would have this question when they started playing it as well. Like, at one point, it's an obvious question, but it's really cool that you answered it.
It's always like weird the first time people see it. We've gotten that a few times, but then as you play it more, you're like, oh shoot, it's actually, super intuitive once you start doing it. And I'll say one other thing: the origin key, like we said, just owning an origin key gives you 4 to 12 of every card of that type. So if you get a land card, you could already get 12 of every land card just by owning an origin key. So that one item, now you don't have to buy those cards ever again. And if you get a royalty origin key, you get 4 to 12x of every single card in the game. And so, then you just don't buy cards anymore. So you want the cheapest option, get an origin key.
Yeah, I guess everyone has their eyes on that for sure. Right?
But all right, so do we want to jump in a game? Is anyone else jumping in, or are we going to play a bot gamer? What's the plan?
So we got a lot of people who have played the game and are really interested. So I think we could do a custom one with the people from here.
Is there
can hop in as well and try to get massacred by others? But yeah, I'll give it a shot for sure.
Do we have at least 2 other players that have it installed and have access right now?
Yep, we do.
All right, let's see. Okay. All right, let's see if we can do this right. So I'll start. But make sure, by the way, make sure we're on Steam. Is everybody on Steam build? We did notice a bug right now. We're fixing it, but for some reason the crossplay is not working between Steam and Epic right now. So we're all playing on Steam.
Like we made an announcement on the community, so I think everyone should be on Steam.
Someone's swapping over to Steam. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, Morty's on Epic. They're like, no, I'm on Epic. Hurry!
Oh shit! Yeah, Morty joined on Steam.
Yeah, Morty just thinks he's gonna win again, but sorely mistaken. Oh yeah. Well, while they're logging in, I gotta see what I'm gonna play here. Let's go to loadout.
Okay, I see Dodria and Marchi saying we're ready to play.
All right, they're ready. All right, I'm gonna.
I think another player, Dimitri, is ready too. I guess I'll give them the floor and watch because I do want them to let them play.
Let's see. Do you want to bring them up on the stage too?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, the conversation's the best part.
Yeah, that's the best part of the game. That's why we play a game as well. Okay, Marchi's there. Let's invite him to stage.
Hello, everyone. Gamestorm.
Hello, Gisomnia.
I can't share my screen.
It's okay. When I share it, everyone will see.
Oh.
Yeah. So Kyle can do it. No worries.
Oh. How can I do this? Just start game?
Just wait for us. Once we get our three people, I'll start queuing, and then when I queue, we'll wait a few seconds. Everybody else can queue up, and we'll get in the same game.
Okay, you can spectate for me if I add you in my friends in Epic.
Are you on Steam? The Steam build right now?
Steam, yeah, but connect with Epic in this game.
Oh yeah. You sign in with Epic, and then you'll be good to go here.
Yeah.
Anyone else who are playing the game, who want to play the game right now, feel free to hop on the stage. We're happy. Just request and we'll accept. Or ping me in the chat. Dimitri, do you want to jump in on the stage? Or anyone else? Ahi or DM? Okay. Let's invite. So 0420? I'll just call you Twinkie. Okay. Hello, Twinkie.
Hey. Hello.
I love your PFP and your name as well. Both are cool.
Things, yeah. Did you hear me?
Send my name in Epic your DM. Yeah.
No, I don't think we need it. As long as are you at the main menu? You see it looking like this?
Yeah. Look.
All right, you should be good to go.
I think once we click start, the other players are gonna hop in automatically, right? The matchmaking.
Yeah, it'll do it automatically, so we don't need to add friends right now. If you go, or make sure you pick whatever loadout you want. Make sure you don't forget to swap decks if you want to do a different starter thing on the loadout section.
Any tips you want to share with all of us before starting the game? Because we are all quite new.
It's tough. I mean, it's all going to be fun if everybody maybe chooses a different starter deck, but not necessary. They're all fun, and we could talk about them when we're playing.
You can deceive us and say something else, so we'll pick something else, and you pick the right one, right?
I'll say, yeah. Just pick whatever you want.
Anyone hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Nice to be here.
Hey everyone.
Hey. Okay.
Hello, nice to have you all. Let's kick off.
All right, everyone is on Steam in theory.
Guys, are you on Steam, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can share my username, and you add me friends.
We need
Here,
to
we're gonna-
click everyone at the same time.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna start the game. I'll hit play, and then a few seconds later, everyone else queues up. So hold on a second. So I'll start, and then let's give it a couple seconds here. All right, if you guys start searching for a 4-player game now, it should jump in.
2 players at the table.
2 players at the table, yeah.
Oh, you guys jumped in. It somehow got into a different one. There you go. Yeah, go back or cancel that one, and then try to join again. See if you.
Who is marching now on same table?
Yep.
I see Clever.
Okay, let's go cancel and start a game.
There you go. I see. Oh, there we go. I got 4 players in
yeah.
one.
I'll play at the table.
All right, let's see if we get everybody in here. I think so. I think we're good. It's a beta, so if something happens, it's not my fault, but it's kind of my fault.
That's what beta is all about, right?
If something breaks, I'll just say I didn't program it. So. Three hive minds. Here we go. All right. I feel like I'm going to get singled out somehow. All right, so this is the release phase. This is where everybody gets to play cards at the same time. So just drag your card out, and it'll show you what you can drop it in, and just let go. Your mouse is inside the square. There you go. All right. There you go. Everyone's figured out how to play cards. Easy. Then you have these 3 gold coins next to your next button on the side. You can drag those coins out and place them on your creatures on the board. And that gives you an extra skill for those creatures. I saw Clever do it. Oh, shoot. All right, I'll play something so that I have something out. Okay. Let's see. So then, during the battle phase, everybody gets to take a turn going around the table and attack whatever targets they want. So, for me, let's see. I can use an ability on this card that adds 1/1 to my cards, my water cards. So now buff this one. Misplay already. My wall can also have an ability that spawns a fish. So I can use that. Gives me another extra little fish here. And then when you go to attack, you click your card, and then it'll show you all the things you can hit. And so if there's walls, that's a blocker. I have to hit that first. If there's heroes, that's another blocker that I have to hit before I can hit somebody in the face directly. But over here, there's no real blockers, so I can just go hit that player right there.
Why me?
You just had no defenses. That's your fault, you know? So now, all right. Now, let me show you something here. There's no good way to not sacrifice that. Here, try this. Use your Lactorix, the 9/1, and hit my wall first. So I want to show you how the frenzy works on your other character. Okay, so now click that Goblin Maniac and hit my Shining Siren. You'll notice you can attack again. So Frenzy on that Goblin lets you keep attacking until you hit a wall or a leader. So you can also hit my other fish and kill that too.
That's a worthy sacrifice for the community.
And then you can hit me as well. Yep. And so that's how that little spiral icon on the card is Frenzy. It's a trait, and it keeps attacking until it hits a wall or a leader.
Okay, so now my turn.
So that's it.
Now your
That's a
turn.
cool card to have.
Yeah, anything with frenzy is real dangerous, and people want to get rid of it real quick. The other thing, if you want to get a closer look at somebody's board, you can press WASD on the keyboard, and you'll get a zoomed in look at everybody's board. Oh yeah, and we should also say how attacking and all this works. So strength and skill. The strength is the red on the left side. That's how much damage you deal and how much health that character has. As you take damage, you deal less damage. And so you'll notice that number go down if somebody hits you. The blue gem on the side is your skill, and it's like how proficient you are in combat. And so if you have the same skill as another creature, you deal damage to each other. But if you have more skill, you do damage and you take no damage. And so the game is trying to get more skill than your other enemy cards so that when you attack, you take no damage and you just destroy everything. And so the hive mind that everybody else is playing on the board, the ultimate ability is raise all of your units' skill by 5. So this 10-1 turtle would be a 10-6. And so then it's a lot harder to kill. And this 12-4 would be a 12-9, which is almost impossible to fight unless you've really buffed up your cards. Let's see. I'm going to get some aggro here on the next.
Can you explain again what it is gold coin do?
So that if you drop the gold coins on your creatures, it adds one skill for the turn.
Oh, okay. I got it.
So it's like a little temporary, and then it refreshes every turn so you can use it again. All right, let's see. So this is a big, powerful card. Double abilities, deal 1 damage to all non-water units, and add 1/1 to my water units. So I can buff all my water guys, and then do a lot of damage to people. And let's see. So I gotta spread the love here. I'll help you guys out. I'm gonna get rid of this wall for you. Oh, well, I'll deal some damage on this turtle. I did my civic duty.
What do you think about add voice chat in the game?
That's coming. So we're gonna have because we use Epic online services, we're gonna have voice chat in the game as well. We have a text chat down here. But we're going to have voice chat as well for sure. Oh, and then, all right, so then let's talk about how we get the ultimate abilities. So the leaders all work a little bit different, and that's on purpose, so it's like a different play style. So my leader is a berserker, and that basically means I have to lose a certain amount of health as a player to get my ultimate ability. So once I lose 30 more health, I'll get my ultimate. But you guys are all playing Hive Mind, and so you're a knowledge leader. You need to not spend 14 knowledge, and then you'll get your ability. So the basically the mana that you're using to play cards, if you don't play cards, it'll get banked on your next turn and get you closer to your ultimate ability. So we could do this for science. If you don't play cards right now, we'll be on the honor system. If we don't play cards right now, and we skip turn, you'll see. Oh, all right.
If everyone don't use cards.
Look at see now. I mean, each player, like, if two of you don't use your cards, you're going to see you'll get your enrage ability pretty close. Because you want to have some of this in the green gem on the bottom. You want to have some knowledge left over at the end of your turn.
You have a good card.
Oh, blowing it. Let's see. And don't forget to use your skill coins, even though it's a little late already.
Is there a cap on the skill that are maximum that you need to use, or it just keeps getting on top of what we have?
There's no cap on the skill, but the skill coins, they don't stack. You can only put one on every card, and it gets taken off every turn, so it doesn't just infinitely stack. But abilities do. So if you have things that say like this, add 1/1 to your water unit, like that is permanent, and it happens every time I use it. And so those are dangerous cards.
Okay, so the ideal scenario is to use my skills every turn, right? If I have them.
Your abilities on your cards, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
cool. Those abilities happen every turn, so yeah, you can definitely use those. And so that you press the little square in your card, and then you can pick a target for that. So don't hit yourself. But I'll say this: the healing one over here is a little broken right now, so I don't think that one will work. There's a bug I gotta fix.
What happened?
Oh, so you attacked my that hero that's a blocker, and it had an ability on it that says it destroys attacking land units. So because your creature was a land creature, it died. And so those are the little symbols on the top of your card. You got water, land, and void. The void is a little spiral. Let's see. Who's got the most health? Right. All right, listen, Clever. We need to join forces, okay? There's these two other mines. They're way too big right now.
Sure.
Mhm.
Whatever's going on over here on this side of the board, it's not
Is it
good.
gonna work? Everyone can hear. Is teaming gonna work here?
Shh. Don't tell them our strategy.
Wait, I don't know what I need to do, but I have
Perfect.
an idea.
It's probably a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Okay. How I cancel my turn when I click to my unit?
You can click at a different empty spot on the board, and it'll cancel it. I need to add like a right click to cancel or something, but if you click on any of the empty slots, it'll cancel that.
Oh, okay.
Also, the spectators, if you have any questions regarding the game, I think this is the best time to ask because currently we are in the middle of the game. We can, you can see a lot of things ongoing. If you want to ask a question, feel free to go ahead in the chat.
I have one question. This game will release in Somnia blockchain in testnet or mainnet?
So it's in testnet right now, but yeah, as soon as mainnet comes out, it'll be on mainnet, and then all of these cards and all of our items will be on mainnet.
Okay.
So like I said, right now we have like almost 1,000 items between cards and playmats and titles and avatars. We're about at 1,000 items right now, so those will all become Somnia assets.
No.
Hold on,
I tried to heal my unit, but nothing happened.
Yeah, which one? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Let me see. All of yours have. Oh, you tried to heal your 7 tentacles. Or
Yeah,
you tried
yeah.
to heal somebody else.
I tried to 7 tentacles.
I'll have to take a look at that. It should have worked.
One user was asking, can we design our own mats or area?
Design, not right now. We are doing potential collabs where we'll have like collab themed playmats and cards. So I'll say,
I think they'll like the collection in game so far, because what I found is there's plenty of options.
there's a lot of options.
Also, another interesting one, which is from Ovu Madu, is can temporary alliances with other players be formalized in game, or they're just purely based on player communication?
So yeah, we originally
Most obvious
derived
question ever.
we originally in our Kickstarter and stuff showed a temporary alliance system, and we might bring that in at some point as well, where you just like say that you want to fight somebody and everybody can like alliance up if they want to. But we kind of thought of a cooler mechanic recently that we might want to try, where we just do like bounties in the game. And so like every game you play, you're going to earn something, for playing it, like in-game currency or world chests or something. But maybe we allow you to use those during gameplay and throw them on people like a bounty. So you could be like, well, I'll give you 500 gold to go kill this guy for me. And if everybody fights him, like you guys will earn the 500 gold for taking him out. Or I'll put a world chest on this Great Claw, and if somebody kills the Great Claw for me, they'll earn that world chest that I would have won this game. And it's just a funny thing. It's like if you end up winning the game, then you collect all your bounties. But if you lose, then maybe you don't get those bounties. But it'll help to drive people to attack.
Yeah, like that is some degen feature, I would say, inside the game, right? And is there like a limit on the wager how much they could bounty? And also, if no one picks on the bounty, I wonder what happens, or it's just stays like that.
Yeah, the bounty probably just stay there. But so like max, a player can earn like 1,600 gold a match for placing first. So we have to see like the minimum you can earn is I think 400 gold or something. So we could probably play with that. So you can like spend that 400 during gameplay if you want to, and then everyone earns one world chest a game. So you could barter with that world chest if you would like to. And so I think there's some options there, and we can see how far we want to go if we want to let people play with their actual full currency outside of the game as well. So if I have 100,000 gold in my account, do I want to say, well, I'm going to give somebody 20,000 gold to take out this player or something? Like where do we want to go with that? So we'll have to experiment a little bit.
Okay, that sounds cool. Look at the board, guys. Who says card games are boring?
Yeah, watch out. We're gonna do let's see, we gotta buff some people up. Buff them up. Yeah, this deck I made is pretty fun though. Do damage to all these non-water units. See ya. And then let's see. I'm just trying to share the pain because Clever and I have a plan.
Is it like a hidden plan that you're plotting?
It's all Clever's plan, actually. I'm just going along with it.
I didn't know you can do it.
He's the mastermind. It wasn't even me.
Okay. I tried to heal my unit, but you killed my healer.
Good.
Mhm.
Get rid of that. I mean, it's pretty big stuff. Let's see.
I think once you are again using your ultimate, it's good to tell people again so they know how it works, right? So
Yeah, so
if you could show that again next turn, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to get their ultimate here, I believe. We'll see. Ooh, taking out the Venodon. Big play. Ooh. Wow, look at that open board over there. Yeah.
Doesn't look good for the Dark Somniac.
All right, new alliance. Biramisu, you, me. You, me, you, me. Listen. We're going to take them all out next turn. Ready? Oh, somebody would have got close to their ability. You guys keep spending too much on cards. Or else you'd have your ability. Let's see.
Someone was asking what happened to Bearness's card. Only have one. He got decimated. That's
Here,
right.
I'm helping him out with some. All right, we got this.
Someone was asking, okay, it's cool to give him a hand because he looks to be in the dark.
See, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help.
Someone was asking again that if there are plans for lore expansions or tie-ins with other media, like comics and novels. It's an out-of-the-box question, but if you would take it.
Yes, so I'll say we definitely want to do like a comic series to go through like the story of Dark Table at some point, and we might tie that in if we can pull this off. I'd like to tie in like a comic release with each new set release so that you can kind of get like the lore and the story leading into the new set and then see the new cards that go along with it. And that'll just be for, something we can do fairly soon to kind of lead into that. And then eventually it would be nice to get in like, in-game cutscenes and whatnot to show some of that story. If we want to talk about like future planning for the game, these would be digital comics. I wouldn't take on the logistics of a hard copy right now. But talking about future story of the game, I think we can get into a lot of interesting mechanics going into each season and the story there and kind of develop it and show players what's going on, and that'll branch into I'll say it could branch into other games as well. I'll just say that.
Okay, that's
Let's see.
a quite big of an alpha, I would say. So I'm sure people will assume a lot of things.
I got to get rid of this.
Please know me. Know me.
Let's see. Ha! You got bound.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Legend of Z was asking, will you add animations for summoning monster? It's an interesting one.
Not for the monsters themselves, but you're going to have at some point the actual keymasters that you are a keymaster, in this world, and you're spawning these cards because you have locked all of these creatures and traps and walls into the cards, and so you unlock them onto the board when you play. Those keymaster characters are the ones sitting at the table in the main menu. You're going to be able to collect those eventually, and those will be animated in the game as part of your cutscenes as well. All right, let's see. We're going to have to do some big plays because I have to run soon. We're running a bit over. Let's see.
You cannot map the time on a playtest. That's how it is, I guess. And once it ends, you are going to see a lot of interest from people. Okay, I want to play the next one. Let's have another round. It's going to be crazy.
I mean, someone else can share if you want to keep it going, because there's enough people, I think, on Steam to just play the next one, too.
Yeah, looks cool. And a lot of people would want the code as well, so we have to take care of that as well. And we'll announce something on Twitter regarding the codes. We will give to a few, but again, we gotta pick the best ones as well.
Now, you don't have to hit his creatures. You can go straight for face if you don't have any blockers there. I think you tried to use your ability on yourself, maybe? Oh, no. I tried to attack my Dream of the Sea. Merp, merp. And it's skip turn by pressing the triangle on the bottom too. I'm betraying you, sorry.
They had to end this way.
Okay, Dmitry, we need beat him.
Take the kill! Take the kill!
No. I tried to beat you.
You're getting stream sniped. No, this is gonna go in the internet.
Take out Biramisu! No!
Okay, Biramisu. Bye.
Boom! There it goes.
Oh, the first one out.
Dark Somniac falls.
Okay, so now one player has their ultimate ability. So on the next battle phase, if you press the little button next to your leader, there's like a little eyeball thing, it will give you your ultimate ability. And you can do it right at the beginning of your turn. So if we're done, we can all skip turn here. It'll go to the next phase. And then I got to run. So I'll leave my game running so you guys can finish the game, and then I'll just get off stream though because I do have to go.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much for being with us and showcasing the game round. Like it was a really really fun session. And yeah, like I'm sure we'll roam around in the Rock Cable Discord a lot, and and a lot of feedbacks and etc. So thank you again
Definitely.
for joining in, and
Bye,
have a
bro.
nice rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll definitely do this again and have some more play tests planned as well. So I appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
nice day.
Easy. Bye.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day. Thank you for the ammo.
Okay, it's not Doomsday yet. We gotta finish the game as well. Anyone else would want to share the screen?
I can stream.
Yep, sure. Dimitri, go ahead.
Sure, yeah.
Only we can do this. Default user can't share screen here.
Wait, for now we are
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
We're playing with Wei.
Yeah, she should.
I will kill you. Okay. Our feet.
I think the
I think he can do this in the Steam feedback. This will be good.
Maybe,
not sure
yeah.
about that. Because a few, you can make it in a doc and share it with me. I can directly send it to Kyle. If you have a lot, we'll have the
Who Who do you think?
It's a good question,
I
but
think
but I think Keymaster is, the war looks. Yeah, I think I will go for the clever.
But we're playing against bot. He knows how to play.
now it is what?
I think so. I think so because he left. Yeah, he was the daydream.
Will be long.
I should know if you don't mess it up big time.
He's not doing anything.
I think last turn was him, and now his certificate.
Okay, so we attack him.
Ew.
This was faster.
Dima, do you ready to kill him?
Sound animations are quite cool for a card game, I would say.
Yeah, this one. You have armor.
Come on, guys. You're taking advantage of someone being AFK. That is unethical, you know? Right? And they're enjoying it. Yes. Thank you guys for staying almost till the end.
Skip the time if you.
Don't click to bottom.
Just keep half of the AFK person. That would be a good feature.
For now, you can hit
Hey, I can't because that.
first to attack.
Yeah. Okay, I'm finished.
Okay.
It's your turn.
A mechanic for leaving the game. Someone leave in the game, they will.
Yeah.
Hello, Matt.
Hello.
Oh, who's this guy? I don't recognize him. Do you guys know? Oh my god, what the heck is my speak? Did you like the truck? You wanna give it a try?
I just saw the game but not understand.
A little bit complex to get, but once you get the fun, I think it should be good. If you say code, let me know.
Let me watch you like and I think I will understand later. Give me
Okay, sure.
Three.
Say,
Never
hey,
seen an AFK player, you know.
Go.
I gotta save my resources. This will do.
what is mean bind?
Now what
I
will do?
didn't lose. Bro, for now, don't use card for me because it is unfair. Card to beat him.
That's the rules of the game. Move.
Mushi played this game.
One time. And I had it. First, I didn't understand almost anything. Super complex.
I played to understand this.
A lot of experience than me.
It must.
Oh wow!
No, bro, no,
really well.
you can't do this.
Sorry.
Things.
I will.
Whoa!
Good job, guys.
It's
Stream
not
side.
unfair.
Thank you.
This was funny.
Thank you for the game. I'm too.
It's a hefty one. It's 1600. That's a lot. I don't know if it will convert 1-1 on USD. You know, you gotta ask the Dark Table team.
I think
I will
can buy cards for these coins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And after,
Yeah, that's
we
what
can sell
I
it.
said, right?
But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You have 31,000. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Okay, guys,
Okay.
don't worry. Dimitri will give away this gold among all the community members. All right, so
Just like my
worry.
ST.
Away and give it to everyone. Okay. I guess it was a long session, right? We are, I think, 2 hours almost right now, and thanks a lot, especially to the people who played the game. Right? It's really hard to play a game for the first time which you don't understand almost anything, right? Because I was in the same place too. So thank a lot for being there. And if you have like any feedbacks, specific suggestions, or anything, do let me know. And if anyone from our community wants a code, I will do a Twitter post, and I'll let you know what to do. So and how you can get a code. It will be something fun. So keep an eye on Twitter. All right. Thank you, all the amazing people, for being here for so long, for 2 hours almost. For many of you, it's a lot late. So thank you so much, guys. And just to answer one most popular question of the community is when OG Somniac Neo batch. It will be very, very soon. I would say in the next few days. All right. So I guess that's some specific answer, right? It's coming. For those of you that have been contributing, you guys will be recognized. So don't worry, we got it covered. All right. Any other questions from our players, or you're all good?
All good, man. Thanks. Amazing game, amazing session.
It's actually a cool game.
Yeah,
I've played it like 3 times, and I must say, the third time it makes a lot of fun.
Yeah, third time's a charm. So yes, we're getting there. And yet we will have more Somniac Nights and Gamestorms lined up every week now with a lot of ecosystem projects, each different. So keep an eye on our Discord as well, right? So yeah, I'll not waste more time. Thank you all for joining in, and have a nice rest of your night, day, and weekend as well.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Nice.
Bye bye. Take care, guys.